This high-speed train connects France and Switzerland at 320 kilometers per hour. It's called the TGV Lyria. Join me in first class as we check out the lounge in Paris, the unusual seating, and the onboard dining today on Markus Travels. We begin at one of the major train stations in Paris, France. This is Paris Gare de Lyon. I had just arrived from one of the other main train stations in the city, Paris Gare du Nord, which is an overcrowded, crime-infested hellhole. I made it to Gare de Lyon. Now let's find the Salon des Grands Voyageurs. I think I see the sign right over there. Let's walk over. My first-class ticket gives me access to the lounge here at Paris Gare de Lyon. It's called the Salon Grand Voyageur, which in my brain translates to Big Traveler Lounge. On the way to the lounge, let's talk about today's journey. TGV Lyria connects Paris in France with several major cities in Switzerland. One branch goes to Zurich in northern Switzerland and the biggest city in the country. That line has a stop in Basel, which will be my final destination today. The journey is scheduled to take around 3 hours. The other TGV Lyria lines go to Geneva and Lausanne, both in southern Switzerland. That's the French-speaking part of the country. This was my first time in the lounge here at Paris Gare de Lyon, so I asked the staff how it works. Most notably, they told me right away there's no food here. So before I even entered, I turned around, bought myself a sandwich and came back. There's also no drinks, except for a water fountain and a hot drinks machine. Then there's this, some kind of glass washing machine maybe? Comment below if you know what this is and how it works. Welcome to the Salon des Grands Voyageurs here in Paris Gare de Lyon station. What they do have in this lounge is space and peace and quiet. The lounge stretches over 2 floors. There's plenty of seating and power outlets. You can also get great views of the platforms from up here. There's a bathroom which is in pretty terrible condition. Look, there's not even a toilet seat. Pretty weak for a first-class lounge in a first-world country. There's a resting area, a conference table, and a couple of phone booths in the back. They got the departure boards as well. Finally, there are plenty of magazines and also plenty of different types of seating available. A more cultured person probably would have taken a little walk outside, seen some of the sights nearby. Not me though. I have a couple of hours until the train and I'm just gonna sit and relax here in the lounge. I imagine that the aim of this lounge is to allow you to get some work done. And if all you need is peace and quiet, that'll work. There's supposed to be Wi-Fi here, but I was not able to connect. Overall, just don't expect much from this lounge, and don't expect anything in terms of catering. I paid for this trip myself so that you get a non-sponsored and authentic travel review. Welcome to my channel, Markus Travels. You can learn more about how to book the TGV Lyria with the link in the description below the video. That's it for our stay in the lounge today. Let's walk down to the tracks and find the TGV Lyria to Basel. To access the tracks here at Paris Gare de Lyon, you have to scan your ticket at the automatic gates. For some reason though, there is also a guard yelling instructions at the people. I don't understand why. My French is very poor. The TGV Lyria is a double-decker train. You can see here on the side some of the destinations it serves. From the outside, it actually looks kind of stylish. My seat in first class is in car number 13 today, and I'll be upstairs. As I enter, there's a huge gap there between the train and the platform. I certainly prefer the Swiss trains that extend a little extra platform when they open the doors. You're not supposed to talk on the phone in the cabin, so they have these separate areas for conversations in the vestibule. The first-class cabin is laid out in a 1+2 configuration. The seat is big and plush. It's very comfortable. Let's test the padding like Super Albs Travels does. Shout out to Super Albs. He has some excellent train content on his channel. Welcome aboard the TGV Lyria that's going to take us from here in Paris over to Basel this afternoon. I made myself comfortable here in the first class car. This is seat number 82 in the standard Premier product. First impression is not excellent. For example, the reading light doesn't work. But let's hope that we will have a quick and efficient journey down to Switzerland. In front of me I have a table. There's a brace here. I think that's to hold drinks in place. There's also a bin down here. It's one of those metal boxes without a bag, so it never really gets properly clean. I have a coat hook as well and one European-style power outlet. The armrests are nicely padded. They can be adjusted up and down. The seat recline is operated with this button. Having ridden these TGV trains many times, the electric adjustment is one of the defining features of this product. I think also for accessibility reasons, this is much better than a manual lever for the recline. The legroom here in first class is really good. Even when I move the seat forward to recline, there's still plenty of space for my knees. One thing that's not excellent is the privacy. You can easily see the other passengers over the seats. We roll out of Paris Gare de Lyon right on time. Here's another TGV train, the TGV Nuit. I have a separate review about that product on the channel, but largely it has very similar hardware to where I'm sitting right now. But the TGV Nuit trains are a lot worse in one specific aspect. There's a link to that video in the description below this one. Before we check out the service on board, let's do a wider cabin tour. Most of the seats are airline style, with either a single seat or two abreast. The seats in the middle of the car form groups of 4 with a table between them. This is the layout on the upper floor of the train. As I'm looking at this, I realize that even though I've ridden these trains many times, I don't think I've ever sat on the lower floor. This first class ticket does not include any food. Instead, I can buy something in the bistro car. I got this sausage pot and it was yummy. The way it's served, though, is weird. It's heated up in this glass container, which is actually pretty elegant. But the bistro car does not have any recycling for glass. I asked how should I recycle the container, and the guy just said throw it in the trash. What a waste. That's just poor design. Other aspects of the bistro car do appeal to me. I don't like table service like they often do in trains in Switzerland. Here I can just get my stuff at the counter. And sitting at the bar, watching the French countryside go by, that's just lovely. The journey is progressing nicely through France. We just passed through Dijon, but there's no stop here. The first stop on this trip is actually 2 hours after departure. The price for that sausage pot was €14.90 and the beer was €7. That's about the same in US dollars. If you're getting value from the video, please hit the like button. Thank you for doing that. As for connectivity and entertainment, there's free Wi-Fi for everyone. But it was excruciatingly slow, borderline unusable. I think we're more or less on time, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this trip. As the sun is setting and I rely on available light, I think I'll finish the rest of the commentary from the studio. One great weakness of the TGV Lyria product is the lavatory situation. These things are tiny. There's barely even room to turn around in here. Everything more or less works in here, but the design is worst in class when it comes to first-class lavatories. As for service, I didn't really interact with the crew except for the gentleman working in the bistro. I did get my food in the end, but he didn't really speak English. For an international connection, I would have expected more. Though I do understand that they have a French crew and a Swiss crew on board the train. Since this part of the journey took place in France, I suppose it was operated by the French crew. That may explain the language skills. I will give you my recommendation in just a moment. If you got value from the video, please hit that big subscribe button to see more videos from my channel, Markus Travels. That really helps out. The price I paid for this train journey was 77 Swiss francs, which is about $85 US. That's a decent price. Taking this train is typically cheaper than flying. I would, in any case, not fly this route unless I was connecting in Paris. This is an ideal distance for a train connection. One thing I really like about the TGV Lyria is that most of the seats are airline-style seats. That's different from the bays of 4 that you usually get in Switzerland with seats facing each other. Just keep your expectations on the lounge in Paris to a minimum and you'll have a great trip on the TGV Lyria. Learn more with the link in the description.
We made it. We have arrived at Basel SBB. Let's get off the train and... Sorry. Okay, note to self, don't block people when they're trying to enter the train. Good YouTuber behavior.
Before this ride, I arrived in Paris from Brussels. Click or tap the screen here to watch that video now. It's about the Eurostar high-speed train, and in that video I learned how not to drink on a train. Thank you very much for watching Markus Travels today, and I will see you in the next video.